this is actually very exciting. Okay. It's kind of weird as well. How do I do this? So I've been planning ever since I've gotten out of my little... So ever since I cured my depression, let me tell you, I've been planning to do this for a long time because to me, every time I miss a day of scrolling through the internet, I lose like a year of drama, of information that I feel like everyone loses. Not just that, right? Most of the stuff that is online, right? If you don't do your own research, the shit that they're saying is most likely false. Half the time it's not real because what I did was take down some notes, right? And then did my own research behind, and I realized most of the shit that they're saying is don't have the full story. So this is what Catchup Online, which I think is what I'm gonna be calling this, is gonna be. I'm gonna give you information or the full story of everything that is being said online. Starting off with the sperm can alter your genes, which when I heard this was mind-blowing, because what? Guys' goo can alter your genes, the way you look. It's called microchimerism, and if you don't know what a chimera is a monster composed of more than one animal. So basically, like imagine a lion with a snake's tail and deer antlers. Apparently, if you get pregnant and a guy has super straight hair, you can end up having super straight hair even though you had curly hair your whole life.
If a man being ugly isn't enough of a reason for you to not want to date them, let me give you another. My curly hair is from my dad's side, and until my mom became pregnant with me, she had pin straight hair. All of a sudden, it turned really curly. I just found out a man's genes can actually alter yours.
Okay, so what she is implying here is if you're gonna get pregnant with a guy's baby, then immediately after the pregnancy occurs, you're gonna get genes from him and you're gonna get altered in some shape or form. I did do research on this, and apparently I couldn't find anywhere where it said that such an effect happens instantly after 9 months. It takes decades after a woman's pregnancy to even see anything at all. So for her to say that she might have been a rare anomaly, but in most cases it takes decades and years for any noticeable change to a woman's body have occurred after being pregnant. What I did find out is this happens more frequently in people who get abortions or get rid of their baby in an unnatural way. It's smaller percentage chance to have a microchimerism occur to you if you had a miscarriage. They have noticed over a period of time these microchimerisms, they actually disappear. Like if you had super straight hair and then you had curly hair, in a couple years after you had noticed the microchimerism occur, most likely you'll go back to curly hair. It doesn't stay forever. Talking about bodies, I did see this TikTok which absolutely shocked me when I heard what she said.
I saw a video where a girl said it's possible like her nipple like fell off after breastfeeding because they were so dry and cracked, and then she had to take it back to the hospital and they like put it back on. I told my boyfriend that, and he goes, "Are you lying to me?" I was like, "I'm not lying. That is very true. It happens a lot."
Okay, when I heard this, I'm telling you, like I was like, what the fuck? Like, does this actually happen? And I did do some research, and it says it's a very rare occurrence, but there are many doctors who have never in their lifetime experienced a person coming in to have their nipples sewed on. Yes, maybe this woman that she heard the story from had a rare anomaly happen to her, but this doesn't happen. The only reason why this would happen is if your child had baby teeth or milk teeth while you were still breastfeeding, which is again very rare because by the time your kid has teeth, you don't breastfeed them anymore. Okay, so I love a good conspiracy theory, right? And this one actually blew my mind. When I went down this rabbit hole, I was like, what the hell? Okay, so I saw this TikTok of a little girl that died after contracting a virus from a mosquito, right? And she died like August 28th, something like that. So really recently.
Little girl in Alabama dies after contracting a rare virus from a mosquito.
Right? And apparently, there's this whole community that think that Bill Gates released mosquitoes that he has been bioengineering to help with the malaria virus, right? And they think that this is what caused this little girl to die. So I went down this rabbit hole trying to figure out what the hell is actually happening. And you will never believe what I found. Forbes released an article helping out Bill Gates, saying that actually no, Bill Gates is not the reason why this girl contracted malaria. And the reason why Bill Gates has released these mosquitoes onto Florida Keys which is not the only place where he has released mosquitoes. He's released mosquitoes in Texas, where more malaria cases have been found, and other areas like Brazil, okay? But the main focus of this article is that he released the bioengineered mosquitoes in Florida Keys. The only reason why Forbes has released this article is because of Liz Churchill, who calls herself a conspiracy theorist on her bio on Twitter. She released a tweet saying, quote, "It must be a coincidence that from 2003 till 2023, there wasn't a single malaria case spread by mosquitoes, and along comes a company funded by Bill Gates to solve a problem that didn't exist, and suddenly in the exact same place where he releases mosquitoes, there's an outbreak of malaria," right? Forbes tries to defend Bill Gates by saying that there is a reason why he released these mosquitoes, that it's not just for no reason. Apparently he's trying to fight Zika, which has been a problem that causes babies to be born with no brains. So I dug into this. And you know what I found out? In 2021, there's been 0 Zika virus outbreaks. 2020, 0. 2019, 0. 2018, 0. And 2017 and 16 has been the most together at 231. But because of these outbreaks in 2016 and 17, they have been doing their best to completely eradicate the disease. No, it's not gone, but in 2018, 19, 20, and 21, there's been not a single Zika virus outbreaks. So what exactly is Bill Gates trying to protect us from? She says also yellow fever. So I did a bit more digging into that, and I found out that globally, 200,000 people contract the yellow fever virus, okay? 90% of that occurs in Africa, okay? So 10% occurs all over the other parts of the world. Let's say 10% of that is in America, which is not the case. But let's just say for argument's sake that it's in America. That would mean 20,000 people in America die from yellow fever, okay? 20,000 people. You know how many people died in America from car incidents? 42,000. So wouldn't that be a bigger cause for reform than finding a cure for yellow fever, which is again 20,000 globally outside of Africa? In the article it also states that it's I'm not sure how to pronounce this, but it's chikungunya virus. There has been 0, exactly 0 cases of this chikungunya virus in America. Yes, there has been tons in Brazil, Argentina, Bolivia, Paraguay, but there has been 0, exactly 0 in America. So again, what is he trying to combat? There is no case for this, because these diseases don't actually affect American people in the way that this article in Forbes is saying that it is. Further on, I found out that Yale actually released a paper on these mosquitoes, on mosquitoes similar to the ones that Bill Gates is releasing on America. These mosquitoes that Bill Gates is releasing are supposed to not be able to reproduce, okay? So over more than 2 years in the city of Jacobina in Bahia, Brazil, so tens of millions of genetically modified male Aedes aegypti mosquitoes, the same exact species that Bill Gates is releasing, were released in Brazil. Females who mated with males carrying these modified genes were supposed to not be able to reproduce viable offspring, which means this would destroy all the mosquitoes and eventually lead to not having any problems with mosquitoes biting them, because they wouldn't exist in the first place. They would all be dying off, therefore reducing the risk of people contracting a host of dangerous diseases such as Zika, dengue fever, and yellow fever. However, samples of native mosquitoes harvested in the regions and analyzed at Yale revealed that some members of the native population had retained genes from the transgenic release strain, meaning that when they mated, it passed on their modified gene. Laboratory tests had shown that females that mated with genetically modified males only produced offspring about 3% of the time, and the survivors were feeble and were believed to be unable to reproduce. But the Yale study showed that not only that offspring from the transgenic mosquitoes had reproduced, but the population of the mosquitoes in Jacobin is now a mix of their original types plus those from the different places that these mosquitoes were transbred with, likely leading to a more robust population according to the researchers. The population of the mosquitoes after initial decline had rebounded, meaning yes, for the first couple periods that the mosquitoes were out doing their job, they declined, the population of mosquitoes declined, but then it bounced back. It also wrote here that females had begun to avoid mating with modified males, fueling a rebound in population. Again, the females were picking out the males. Powell, one of the researchers in Yale, had speculated that females had begun to avoid modified males. fueling a rebound in population. Again, confirming that Bill Gates had no reason to release these mosquitoes. After this Yale study that was released in 2019, I think, yes, 10th of September 2019. After this study, Bill Gates still released these mosquitoes this year. Not just that, the reason for him releasing the mosquitoes doesn't stand because all those diseases that he is trying to combat, the American people are not affected by them. Yes, a very, 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 and I say very, slight population is affected in America by this. But that doesn't make sense why Bill Gates would spend millions of dollars to combat a problem that doesn't exist. What do you think? I would like to hear your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll update you next week on what other crazy shit I found on the internet. See ya.